If you are a California homeowner, you better check to see if you fall under a new executive order that California Governor Gavin Newsom just imposed statewide. It would require millions of homeowners in California to eliminate all plants around their home. Coming up, I'll tell you about this insane executive order and why it adds billions in costs to homeowners for no real benefit. I'm Carl DeMaio, chairman of Reform California and a California state representative. Governor Gavin Newsom has signed an executive order, and it is all under a really fatally flawed bill passed just 2 years ago, Assembly Bill 3074. Now, as a state assembly member, I can tell you right now, I did not vote for this thing. It happened before I was in office. If I were in office, I'd be the one leading the fight against it. But here we have a new executive order. Newsom is now implementing the regulatory requirements of this bill, AB 3074, and it's going to be a sucker punch to millions of California homeowners. So I'm going to go through what it requires, how much it's likely going to cost a typical homeowner that's going to be subject to the new regulation, and what we can do to fight back. But I need your help. We can't alert you to these crazy regulations. We can't fight bad bills like AB 3074 unless you get off the couch and into the fight and join our growing statewide movement to restore some sanity in California state government. Join our movement right now at reformcalifornia.org. That's reformcalifornia.org. That is ground zero. That is the website. What you can do at that website, first and foremost, is sign up to be tethered into our growing movement. We are recruiting candidates, training them, filing them for office at the city level, the school board level, the state level, because we need to change California's course by getting better people elected, throwing the extremists out of office, breaking the one-party control of our state government. So go on that website, reformcalifornia.org, at the bottom, and sign up. We will give you updates as to what's happening in your area, who we're endorsing for offices, and when we're coming to your area for rallies and other town halls. Just put in your first name, last name, email, phone, and zip code, and you'll be joined to our effort. Also, please chip in a contribution to support our work. Check out some of the campaigns that are up on that site. We have got the California Voter ID Initiative that's being launched this week, as well as our No on Prop 50 campaign to protect fair elections. Let's get into this initiative, this executive order that's going to impact the homeowners across the state of California. It's called the Zone Zero Rule, and Newsom's executive order implements or imposes regulations for any home in Zone Zero. Zone Zero is a home that has higher, not highest, but higher fire risk. If you live in suburbia, chances are your home is in Zone Zero. If you are in a rural area, most definitely your home is in Zone Zero. So we're talking about roughly 2.5 million homeowners will fall under Zone Zero under Newsom's regulation. Oh, it gets worse. What does it require? Under Zone Zero regulations, no landscaping materials that can be ignited by embers are permitted within 5 feet of structures. Now, you might say, well, this is good for safety, right, Carl? No. In a moment, I'll explain why it really doesn't matter at all to protect your house from burning down. What it will do is impose billions in costs. Typical homeowner, at least $5,000, if not 10 to 20 grand of costs to implement these rules. Opponents say that Zone Zero rules are not science-based, and they're actually bad for the environment because you're eliminating trees that cycle carbon dioxide. So we've got these new rules. And what they're saying is that by doing 5 feet of space, getting rid of materials, that a home might be better protected. I don't see that at all. When these catastrophic fires come through, it is an absolute blaze. And so 100 feet of defensible space is sometimes not enough. What are they requiring that you remove? They're requiring that you remove plants, not just trees. Fences. If your fence is wooden or could catch on fire, your fence would have to be replaced. Have you gotten a bid for replacing a fence? It's very expensive. So if you have a wooden fence within 5 feet of a side of your home or all sides of your home, you're going to have to pay 15 grand to replace that fence. So when I say that if you're lucky, it's 5 grand per homeowner. And I don't think many homeowners just have 5 grand lying around because Governor Gavin Newsom has decided, I hereby decree, because he's in a $10 million mansion in Marin County, and who knows who paid for it. And so here is the mysafela.org, which is a government website, description of the new rules. So here you have the 5 feet mark. Notice that there's nothing there. There's nothing. There's a metal fence. There's nothing but rocks around in every direction. There's not even a damn potted plant. They've even said that mulch has to be removed in the regulation. Plants, fences, mulch, not just a large tree. And again, I wouldn't even argue that the tree within 5 feet is necessarily a do or die situation. That is zone 0 regulations. How many people are we talking about? We're talking about roughly 2.5 million homeowners. If it's 10 grand of costs, let's assume that it's 10 grand in costs. Because again, you hire a landscaper to come in and take out all your plants. What are you going to replace it with? Ugly? You're going to have to replace it with something. Most people like their plants. They like their mulch. They like their trees. They like their wooden fence. So at least 5 grand, I think, is the lowest end. If you decide to live with just getting a gardener to come and clear it all out. By the way, where are we going to put all this stuff? Our landfills are already precious commodities in terms of space. You have all of these homes, 2.5 million homes, suddenly doing all this landscape work. Your gardener cost, your landscaper cost is going through the roof. No one has thought through the cost of this. So 5 grand, I think, is almost not even defensible. It's too low. But let's say 10 grand is what each homeowner does. Some homeowners are going to be a lot more than that. As I said, if you're getting rid of a wooden fence completely around your home, it could be 15. And that's just the fence. At 10 grand times 2.5 million, that's $25 billion. This regulation is more than 2 times what the state of California collects in gas taxes and car taxes every year. This is a sucker punch. This is a nuclear weapon detonation to the cost of living in California. But the media doesn't seem to be focusing on it. And look, this MySafeLA website has been up since February 2025. But now the regulations are getting to the point where they're kicking in. People are starting to hear about this. They're getting notices that they have to do this. And you know what is hitting the fan? Oh, the politicians don't seem to be willing to back down. They're doubling and tripling down. Now, here's why this is not going to be valuable for safety. First, I would argue that a lot of the things that they want to get rid of within 5 feet are not necessarily deal breakers in terms of proposing risk to your home. Sure, if you have a lot within 100 feet, you have a problem. But plants, not so much. Secondly, government has failed to do its job for fire mitigation. They're sitting on millions of acres of land that's overgrown, that is catastrophically high fire risk. And the government is negligent. They're not doing their job. They're not thinning the forest. They're not clearing. They're not doing controlled burns. The California Air Resources Board bans fire districts from even having a controlled burn. Oh, it releases CO2 into the atmosphere. What do you think a catastrophic fire does? So while they're focusing on your 5 feet of space around your home, what have they done for their millions and millions of acres of public lands at the city level, the county level, and the state level that Gavin Newsom and these Democrats have absolutely mismanaged and have no inclination to clean up and fix? And they leave all these homeless people in canyons, in open space, with grills and fires and campsites. But no, can't get rid of that. No, you got to get rid of a fence. You've got to get rid of your plants. You've got to spend $10,000 at least, $5,000 if you're lucky. This is not going to save a home if there is a massive fuel load on all the land around your home that's on government property, in the canyons that have been poorly maintained by local government. Your home's going to burn down anyway. So we have a $25 billion sucker punch. And by the way, once they start with this, they're going to say, oh, we need to expand Zone 0. Everyone needs to get in on the action. Must be nice to live in a $10 million mansion in Marin County, Governor Newsom. At Reform California, we are leading the fight for sensible policy. I introduced a bill requiring the state of California and local government to do its damn job to maintain and thin the forest and maintain public lands, to do fuel reduction, to thin the vegetation, to clean up the brush, and to do controlled burns. The Democrats killed the bill in committee. They don't want any sort of accountability on their fire risk. Instead, they micromanage you and leave you stuck with the bill and with a home that's less enjoyable. Help us fight back at reformcalifornia.org. Check out Zone 0 regulations. Find out if your home is within the Zone 0, and then read up on some of the regulations. This website in Los Angeles does have a basic breakdown of a lot of the requirements. Until next time, I'm Carl DeMaio, Chairman of Reform California and a California state legislator. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this episode. But before you click away, please subscribe to this channel and click that notification button so you get updated when we post new episodes. Plus, like this video and share it with your friends so that we can help spread our message across the state. Reform California with Carl DeMaio is paid for by Carl DeMaio for State Assembly.